Do you remember when Andy Reid wouldn't run the ball back in the day? Some of you were, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Guy that grew up in Philly.
Yep.
Okay, and I can remember when Doug didn't run the ball. Bo, what did they used to say? They'd be like, "Well, that's just that Andy in him."
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I remember."
Yeah, I remember.
But the commitment to the run game right now shows me that they're just in a different place. He's in a different place. I think it helps to have the big guys inside. The patience, knowing you like your chances on third and medium. That's what defined the game for me. Okay, that is what defined the game for me. They averaged 3rd and 4 on the day. They racked up 185 yards rushing, but none of it was spectacular between the tackles. I mean, it was just an attrition thing. And it was just a willingness to go 2 yards, 3 yards, and know that if you get in 3rd and 5, we like our matchups. We like the way we can scheme things open. When we get into 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, which I think they had 4 third downs over 3rd and 6 on the day. They only converted on one of them. That was the Noah Gray circus throw. Okay, like we don't want to live like that every 3rd down. I think in the other 3 plays you had an interception and 2 pressures. So like when they get in 3rd and long, it's not as much about loving your matchups on 3rd and 5 as it is about hating the matchups on 3rd and 8, namely the guys up front, Nick Bosa and those tackles. So I thought that was a huge deal, just staying on it for them. They came out, ran some split zone, kind of like would just stick to the inside run against the 2 high looks. And then when they went single high, they made them pay on the perimeter with jet sweeps, with fast to the flat stuff, which actually turned out to be their version of a couple Super Bowls ago, the speed option, slowing down the defensive ends. You know, last year it was the read option. Whatever it is, they're going to have a wrinkle to slow the rushers down. And more importantly, when you get in those single high looks, they're getting out on the perimeter. When that box gets packed, they're getting out on the perimeter, and I thought that was great. 2 scoring drives in the second half, 13 plays, 79 yards, 643, 8 runs. Hold on. Let me say this a different way. 2 scoring drives in the second half for the Chiefs. 13 plays, 79 yards, 643 eaten up. Another one, 12 plays, 80 yards, 627 eaten up. That's like 13 minutes. That's like 25 plays. I think 22 of them. 20 of them.
Yeah, 20.
20 of them run plays. 20 of them on those two drives. So you see the Chiefs are one thing. They're very fucking comfortable with who they are. Okay. And it's another reason I compare them to the Patriots of old, because the Patriots were very comfortable with who they were. There was the Patriot way, but if we're going to win games on defense this year, damn it, we're going to win games on defense. If we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball. Mm-hmm. I don't care who's hurt. It could be a running back. It could be 2 wide receivers outside. We're going to find a way. And I think like as Brady sits there and he's breaking down this game up in the booth, I can't help if he's thinking like they remind me of us back in the day with the second act guys. Okay, like Hardman had a big day yesterday for them. Kareem Hunt has been a revelation. Nate called that. Okay, Kareem. Guys coming back into this system and them convert. You know, at the same time saying, I don't need anybody new. We just need the guys to know the system. We'd rather have guys who are unspectacular and know how to get on my page than taking big swings at guys. And so that's the way they're going. And I think when all things are equal, it comes down to Mahomes. Okay, these 2 teams are not in their perfect form. And when the game's tight, Mahomes shows you why he's the best of our generation. I mean, and it's not necessarily throwing the ball every game, because he misses some throws. He's missed some throws this year. He missed the shot to Worthy out of the half. That game would have been curtains, okay? But 3rd and 6 to Kelce or whatever it was, 3rd and 8 to Noah Gray, running away from Fred Warner, shaking Winters on the sideline, just ball faking the dude. Like, here's the ball, getting down.
No, I've been waiting for you to bring that up. I have such a bone to pick.
You don't like that.
That scramble from Mahomes on the sideline.
You don't think,
dude,
what do you
think?
They
make it impossible to hit these quarterbacks these days. And Patrick Mahomes with his little hip shimmy, you know, he's shockingly mobile. Like, my hat off to him. Like, he is a great athlete. But, like, dude, he's making it look like he's running out of bounds and then shaking a guy for like 15 more yards because the guy's scared to hit the best player in the league.
So hit him
on the sideline.
So hit him.
Exactly.
Packers
know,
did it
that
last year.
Shit,
So
bothered me so much.
I can show you plenty of plays where people finish Mahomes on the sideline. You know, there's ways to if you're blaming that guy's angle on Patrick Mahomes, I mean,
no, his angle was trash.
It was trash,
but it was trash. But and Brady mentioned that like 5 times. But also, like, it's just my grievances with the protections that the quarterbacks get. All right, like, you're just, as a defender, like, you can't hit him high in the pocket, you can't hit him low in the pocket, you can't even remotely attempt to hit him when he's sliding.
Was the pocket on the sideline?
He's kind of creeping out of bounds, and then all of a sudden he shakes you for 15 more, and you're watching that replay on SportsCenter all week, just want to blow your brains out. It just is a bad position to be in as a defender.
And I think I'm not saying you're making this point to score points with the chat, but I think a lot of people in the chat will agree with you. I haven't even looked down because, and I'm seeing I just don't want to look because there's a lot of people that hate the Chiefs. Okay. And I could hate the Chiefs. They beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and I could be a Chiefs hater and all that stuff. But I appreciate greatness, and that play is greatness. Okay, so we could say, hey, it's really hard to tackle. Oh, it's hard. Shove him out of bounds. Shove him out of bounds. You know what I mean? Put 2 hands on him. Take an inside-out angle. The sideline's your friend. Don't waltz by him and take a seat on the bench. Okay, so like you can blame that on that. But another thing I love about Patrick Mahomes is down there on the 1, he ran over the guy. I mean,
he trucked
feet
him
in the air.
Yeah.
Ran over a guy who had been obliterating all his teammates for 48 minutes. And
that's true.
I said this last night. Who needs gas station pills, man? But my testosterone went up watching that shit.
Yeah. Oh,
last night.
Yeah. But when I
that gave me a little.
But when I said
testosterone.
But when I said I got a chub watching the Steelers defense, what's the difference?
A big difference.
What's
testosterone doesn't give you boners.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does.
No, we're allowed to talk about boners, Jerry.
I just think you're wrong.
Jones,
I think you're fishing. You think you got a gotcha moment, but you're equating receiving a testosterone jolt from watching Patrick Mahomes, an American quarterback.
What do you think people take those gas station testosterone jolt pills for?
How do you know so well?
What, to go to the gym?
How do you know so well?
To go to the gym?
How do you know so well?
I'm just saying,
I'm just wondering.
What do you think they're there for?
I think there are boner pills at the gas station, but I think there's also low-quality testosterone boost type pills.
We'll make that if you're the loser of our fantasy football team, you got to go to the gas station every day and take one of those gas station.
No chance, because I'm already.
0-7 packs?
I might lose, dude. I haven't set my lineup in weeks. But the point is, we should be appreciating this guy's greatness. If you don't want to, hey, you're missing out, because this guy he's a stud. And the way he finished that game, the way they ran the football, the leadership on this team, like the defense, Spags, getting guys ready. The Najee Johnson guy. Mm-hmm. Can you pull this up? Can you pull up the All-22? Can we pull this off during the show? I just wanted to show you something. I think the defense played really, really well. We'll talk about what San Francisco didn't do, but I just think Spags is one of those guys who gets guys ready to play in the back end. And no matter who,
Tom kind of gave Spags his flowers last night too.
Even though he called him Spagnuolo the whole game.
Yeah. But he did say, he's like, he was my kryptonite, like blah blah blah. I feel like you don't hear that kind of shit from Tom that much.
Bro had 2 picks. Well, I mean, come on, bro. I mean, Josh Soul, again, I don't hate the Chiefs. I just hate how inconsistent folks are when it comes to talking about QB play. Bro had 2 picks with no passing TDs, but when others do that, the narrative changes. Well, what we're dealing with here is something called I can't think of the word, but it's you build up enough equity. You build up enough equity as the best player of your generation. People are going to give you a little bit more leeway for not playing a perfect game. And the guy on the other sideline threw 3 picks. So Josh Soul, I would ask you, who's a better quarterback? Here's the point. Who are you drafting first? That usually shuts the conversation down real simply. We're going to talk about the Lions in a second. Somebody's going to call me a golf hater because I'm going to say he should be in the MVP race, but I don't necessarily think he's the MVP. And people are going to tell me I'm a hater. And then I'm going to ask them, who would you draft first? And I know it's not what the MVP race is, so don't get me all fucked up here. But the point is when people are what's the gripe with Mahomes? You want somebody else? I mean, nobody else is making that play. Maybe Josh Allen, QB2 on the planet. Okay? So I look at this thing and I just say, like, listen, in a ball game like this, And Worthy fell down on one of the picks too. Okay, not to cape for the guy, but also we had somebody fall down on 2-point conversion late. That was a big deal. Footing, you got to get your footing right. Who are you drafting first out of quarterbacks, Josh Soul? What do you think I'm talking about? Baseball relievers? Who are you drafting first out of all the NFL quarterbacks? If you're going to tell me you're taking somebody over Mahomes and his name is not Josh Allen, I don't know. And you're going to tell me it's Lamar. You're going to tell me somebody else. I'm sorry, but the playoffs, you build up equity. And when you win championships, you build up equity. Mahomes' record just speaks for itself. That's from Daniel San.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not as complicated as you try to make it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the simple take is the best take.
And shout out to Andy Reid, because Andy Reid.
Do we have that red zone pulled up?
Yep.
Let's
go
look at
ahead.
It. Yeah, let's look at it. Okay, now the play before this play. Okay, it's 21-12 here with 11 to go. Okay, so the Niners get in the red zone because they take advantage of a corner being down. They go at Najee Jones, right? Najee Johnson. So they take a shot at Najee Johnson. They get down there. Najee Johnson could be burying his head in the sand. I mean, most people are like, okay, we gave up some points. The very next play, this is him making a play that people don't notice this play. But in the red zone, the guy that gets the ball carrier down in a situation is often the guy who you can attribute to points coming off the board. I mean, Jordan Mason, full head of steam here, coming off tackle here, and there's a vice tackle between him and Justin Reid. But if Johnson doesn't come in and make this tackle, shoot his gun, make the tackle, which is it's a simple thing. Mm-hmm. But if you miss this tackle, that's 6, right? I mean, I think Justin Reid might be able to come off and make this play, but I don't think so. So you're in the right place. You make the tackle. You just got burnt. Okay, we line up and play second down. And on second down, you can hit down, Reed, or next play. Second down, you get Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton knifing in to make a play. Watch this fucking effort from Nick Bolton. Go to the end zone view if you could for people watching the live show. If you got audio, you got to check out YouTube. Nick Bolton making a play. Linebacker play was awesome yesterday for the Niners, or for the Chiefs. It was awesome. Early in the game, they had to be in base a lot. Those guys were kicking their ass. Chenal, Tranquil.
49ers couldn't really run the ball.
They couldn't run the ball into base, okay? And that's one of the problems when you don't have a lot of wide receivers outside, not necessarily in this situation, the red zone, but out in the field. When you don't have a lot of wide receivers you can trust, you got to be in more big personnel groupings. And they matched those personnel groupings with base and kicked their fucking ass. Nick Bolton played a great game. So now what do we have? We have third down, okay? And we got a guy named George Karlaftis, who's not a perfect edge rusher, but he's a really smart player. And this is him spinning back in the red zone, knowing you can't get too high in the red zone, knowing you got to come underneath at 8-9 yards, knowing that this was the time to make a move and force a pick. And I don't know where Brock Purdy's going to throw this ball. Maybe he throws a pick anyway. Maybe he throws it out of the back of the end zone. But that's 3 points at least. And that ends up being 7 if you think about them, scoring a touchdown. It could be a 4-point play. This Najee Johnson guy making a play after he got toasted, gets down the red zone, makes a play, knocks the ball down. We see this all the damn time. All the time. I feel like it happened with Breece Hall last week in the game against the Bills. He gets out there on the left sideline. I can't remember who hunted him down, whether it was Taron Johnson or actually I think we gave him his love. I think it was Taylor Rapp. That's a tackle that's worth points. I think they ended up missing the field goal. I might be misremembering, but the whole thing is Spags gets guys ready to play. I don't care if they just came in the game late. I don't care if you got beat. It's the mental toughness that he instills in this defense, and it doesn't hurt to have backers like he has. And honestly, losing L'Jarius Sneed, losing Willie Gay, losing these pieces, you still got Chris Jones, you still got this front, you got guys that can move around like chess pieces, you got Justin Reid, you got McDuffie. But I did not know this defense would look as good. And the way they have shouldered the responsibility for this Chiefs team has been really impressive this year.
Chris, you're talking about getting ready to play. I got to give a guy a shout out, not for the Chiefs, for the Niners. Imagine being a highly drafted rookie, okay? Your much anticipated rookie season, and you get shot in the fucking chest, okay?
Through the chest,
incredible.
out the back.
Out the back of your chest, and now you are finally in your rookie season debut. 3 catches for 21 yards for, Ricky Parcell. Might not seem like much, but
no, it's huge.
Kudos to you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's crazy.
You got shot, and now you're, playing the Chiefs. getting some catches, getting your feet wet a little bit. Like, good for you, man.
By the
You
way,
want to give that guy some love.
if I'm waking up today, if I was Mike Williams, I would be telling my agent I would rather spend my winter in San Francisco than New York.
No question. There's going to be a couple teams looking at Mike Williams. There's going to be a couple teams, and Kansas City would be one, but like, again, they seem kind of like comfortable to stand pat. And if they don't stand pat, I'm going to be real interested to see who it is they bring in. But I think more than anything, like we're talking about the Chiefs bringing people in, it might be the Niners who have to bring somebody in, because now Ayuk, and you said this right as he blew his knee out possibly yesterday. You were like, he was proved right.
Yeah.
That's why you hold out.
This is why players hold out. And for all the fans and if you're really a fan of players and the team and you wonder why these guys are so selfish because you're getting paid so much money.
Drafting Goff over Josh Allen.
To do all this.
That's incredible.
You're so selfish for holding out for money, but this is the reason why. Like, everything doesn't have a happy ending for players. Everything doesn't have a happy ending for organizations, but just in NFL in general, this is why you fight for your money, because who knows if we'll see Ayuk again? Who knows if we'll see the same Ayuk again? But it's something where, thank God he did fight and get the money he got, because might be the last time we see him play.
Might be the last time we see him play for a little bit. And, like the timing of it would have been really tough had he reported to camp and gone out and blown his knee out. But like, that's the reality. And people would say, hey, tough, like guys do it all the time. Well, he took matters in his own hands, and
kudos to the agent. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who the agent is. But
now I also look at this and say, like, who the fuck mainly are you going to be throwing to now? Pearsall, it's good to have him back, but like, he's got to be a hell of a player. And they didn't have Debo yesterday because of some illness. So that's a really tough deal when you go out there and you got to throw to a bunch of guys that when you played the Super Bowl last year, the Niners, you couldn't get guys open against man coverage. So you come into this game down Christian McCaffrey. One of the reasons I took the Chiefs was because I feel like, all things being the same, you're down your best man separator and your best player offensively. And Kansas City has seemed like they have stuck the landing on losing their pieces that they lost on defense. So, when Debo's down and you got to go.
Chris, the good news for the Niners is they're playing Dallas next week, so they're going to run for 350 yards. They don't even need to throw the ball.
I would hope so. But the point is, at some point this season, you're going to have to be able to throw the ball to win. And this passing offense does not look the same, okay? Like, it just doesn't. It looks pedestrian. It looks like a little bit constipated, to use the verbiage that Lane Johnson used talking about Philly a week ago. And I know it'll get better when Debo's back. But still, and that's a great defense they were playing. But the record is the record right now for the Niners, and they are in a bit of a hole. And, they might have to make a move. I think like just having to go to Bell in a situation where they're not on the same page, you're going to a rookie that you wouldn't usually be going to, you get picked. Like, those situations come up a lot when you got to go to guys that you can't trust or you don't trust yet. And, they had miscues early in the game, penalties, red zone stuff. So, I mean,
Reed got my head spinning now, because now all I'm thinking about is Devontae Adams leaving New York already.
Yeah.
It's like this year going to a new team, and just how big of a story and how great that
He's not leaving, dude. He already moved in with Aaron Rodgers, man. They're roommates and everything.
Bro, that's one argument away from I'm out of here.